So, the higher desires are fundamental to positive spiritual development. That is very, very important. A poignant fact that the higher desires only, and no any other one, lead to the development of spiritual powers positively and voluntarily. The extract from the threefold material bodies, we are talking about the dense body, the vital body, and the desire body. That extract constitutes the threefold soul. Now, progressively, as we use the conscious soul, the intellectual soul, and the emotional soul, they, as one, transform and give birth to the spiritual body, to the soul body. What we are supposed to do is to be doing the good things, operate in the higher worlds. Our higher desires are very important. What are the dangers of materiality? Materiality has a serious danger on the vital body. Materiality satisfies at best only the two lower ethers of the vital body, which don't add anything to our spiritual growth. The two higher ethers are for our spiritual growth. So when we focus more on materiality, we are hardening the connection between the two lower ethers and the two higher ethers. It will be difficult for them to separate, and our spirituality will be affected. We have a diagram to portray this. In fact, we show this in our lecture number 2. In this diagram, you see the physical world or the physical body. We have the etheric region and we have the chemical region. The etheric region has 4 ethers. 2 higher ones, the reflecting ether and the light ether, and 2 lower ones, the life ether and the chemical ether. All of them form the vital body. But when we operate in the higher desires, we lead the good life sufficiently, a separation comes between the 2 lower ethers, that is the life ether and the chemical ether, and the 2 higher ethers, the reflecting ether and the light ether. The 2 higher ethers separate from the light ether and the chemical ether. That is important for our spiritual growth. If they don't separate, we are still ordinary. We haven't achieved much. Now, if you look at the chemical region or the dense body, comprising gas, liquid, and solid, they are maintained by the 2 lower ethers. To the left-hand side, you can see the responsibility of the 2 lower ethers, the life ether and the chemical ether, is to maintain this dense body. So if we are into materiality, we are only maintaining this body. We are not imparting our spiritual ethers. But when you look at the reflecting ether and the light ether, they lead to the building of the soul body. You can see the golden color over there. That is where the reflecting ether and the light ether, when they separate, it means they have built the soul body or the spiritual body. This is how it works with this particular diagram. Now, we also have dangers for the low desires. Low desires don't add anything to our spiritual growth or to the higher regions of soul life, soul light, and soul power. Low desires don't add anything to them. So anybody who is operating with low desires is only picking materials from the lower desire world of this planet. And those lower desires eventually must be purged when the spirit eventually leaves the body in a state that we call death. Once again, we're talking about the low desires: hatred, jealousy, stealing, deception, bearing false witness, arrogance, cheating, drunkenness, racism, brutality, sensuality, abuse of others' rights. These are low desires. Bias, insincerity, greed. These are all low desires that don't add anything to our spiritual development, but the high desires do. Fairness, love, the unconditional one, altruism. You are caring and sharing with people. You are truthful. You have self-control, and you pursue spiritual things. You like making peace. You have selfless service. Those are the things that add to our spiritual growth. You have sympathy for people. You have empathy as well. You don't say, it doesn't concern me. When you have that brotherly, sisterly feeling for others, you are adding more to your spiritual development. And once again, we have a diagram to depict it. You can see the red color, our low desires, passion and sensual desires. They occupy the bottom rung of the desire world. Let us not operate more often over there. Let us operate more often at the top, where we have the high desires that lead to soul power, soul light, and soul life. It is important, but it's not just a day's work, it is progressive. Let's keep reminding ourselves, and we improve upon ourselves. Now, the spiritual body or the soul body is therefore the aggregate of the extracts from our good deeds. The good things that we do cumulatively lead to the building of the spiritual body or the soul body. It is a gradual process. The positive spiritual development is a gradual process most often, and it depends primarily on the good things that we have done to our neighbor. It may take years for that to develop. It may be a lifetime, but eventually, once you are doing the good things, it will manifest. So, the higher desires are fundamental to positive spiritual development. That is very, very important. A poignant fact that the higher desires only, and no any other one, lead to the development of spiritual powers positively and voluntarily. Now,